Horry County police have been involved in a chase with the suspects they say are wanted in connection with the recent shootings in the Conway area. Meredith Helline is live in Horry County right now. And Meredith, I know you just talked to Police Chief Joseph Hill. Is he saying people should be concerned that live in that area right now that are driving through?
Caitlin, I did speak with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill just about 10 minutes ago now. We're right here at the corner of Adrian Highway. Just a little bit north of us is Highway 701. And when I spoke with Police Chief Joe Hill, he said right now these suspects should be considered armed and dangerous. He's suggesting that everyone in the Adrian Highway area of Horry County shelter in place tonight, be extremely cautious as you're heading home. Now, before we got to that, we were driving along Adrian Highway. We were listening to the scanner in the truck on the way out here. We were hearing Hucks Road, Adrian Highway, 701 railroad tracks as to where these suspects might be. So that's why we were driving here. That's when we ran across about 6 or 7 Horry County Sheriff's Office cars, Horry County Police, Highway Patrol that were all right here. And they've cleared out within the last 10 or 15 minutes, headed back down Adrian Highway toward Hucks Road. We're going to head that way after this. But when I spoke with Police Chief Joe Hill, he said that this search started about 3 hours ago, that it began after that those shots fired happened in the Hemingway Chapel Road area of right outside of Conway earlier today, where our reporter Audrey Bisk actually witnessed. And so a chase happened soon after that. And he said that that vehicle is in fact stolen and that it was left on Hucks Road, and that's where they caught one person. He says right now they believe 2 to 3 people are still on the run. We've heard a lot of scanner chatter of them being along these railroad tracks. And again, this area is being highly policed right now. He said, they're setting up a perimeter, that they did chase them for a while. And again, he wants everyone to stay inside, and that there's currently a K-9 team searching for these 2 to 3 suspects, and that he has 30 officers on the ground in this large area of Adrian Highway searching for these suspects considered to be armed and dangerous. We'll to continue to keep you updated live here on air. For now, on Adrian Highway in Horry County, I'm Meredith Helline. Back to you, Caitlin.
We are continuing to follow breaking news tonight on WMBF News at 6. Suspects believed to be involved in shootings in the Conway area led officers on a chase, ending with multiple people being taken into custody.
And this, as we've learned, there were 2 different shootings today, one in Horry County, another in the Conway city limits.
We have team coverage tonight from several active scenes. First, let's send it to Meredith Helline. She spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill. Meredith, what's the latest? What did Chief Hill have to say about all of this?
Hey, Caitlin and Eric, it has been an extremely busy day for Horry County authorities. I'm going to first give you a little background. This all started last night when a woman and her son had shots fired at them while they were driving down Hemingway Chapel Road. That's in an area west of Conway. And then again today, around 1:20, our reporter Audrey Bisk was in that same area talking with neighbors about that violence and how they felt about shots being fired in their neighborhood, when she, another reporter, and these neighbors witnessed again shots fired just feet from her. And then just hours later, these people struck again in the Juniper Bay Road area of Horry County. Now, we came down Adrian Highway and ran into Chief Hill and other authorities here. We're almost to the corner of 701. It's just a little bit west of here. We're currently in front of Adrian Free Will Baptist Church. And when I spoke with Chief Hill, he had a lot to say. We learned some new facts from him today. He said that about 3 hours prior, so probably around 4 o'clock, that chase started after the Juniper Bay Road shots being fired. Police did find out that the vehicle they were in, a burgundy colored car, was a stolen vehicle. And he says that car was ditched on at Hucks Road. That's a little bit east of here. That road runs in to Adrian Highway. That's where the car was ditched. They had one person taken into custody there, and he told me that 2 to 3 other people then ran out of the car, and that's when this manhunt ensued across the Adrian Highway greater area of Horry County. He said they set up perimeters in different areas, to really catch these suspects. He said that they should be considered armed and dangerous. He wanted everyone to shelter in place who lives in these areas. He said at the time that a K-9 team was searching, that he had 30 officers on the ground. And that was the latest about 30 to 40 minutes ago from Chief Hill. Now I'm going to toss it to Ian Klein, who's live at another area where this manhunt has been going on all afternoon. Ian.
Meredith Helline right now is right outside the location where that vehicle ended up ditching, and a couple of those suspects in the vehicle got away. Meredith, what is the latest out there?
Kaylin, that happened a little bit east of where we are now on Adrian Highway. Now, in the past 5 minutes, we've heard a bunch of dogs barking a little bit east of here near a Christmas tree farm that's about a mile east on Adrian Highway from where we're at right now. And the only reason we're a little bit concerned about that, we're going to check that out here soon, is because when I spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill about 45 minutes to an hour ago, he said he has K-9 teams on the ground all over this place searching for these suspects that are still on the loose. Now, we'll be live at 7 with the latest update. For now, I'm Meredith Helline in Horry County. Back to you.
And a reminder that authorities are asking you to stay indoors if you are in that area. We will continue to follow this. 30 minutes from now, we'll have another live report for you.
We have been reporting since about 4 o'clock today. This has been going on for a couple of hours now.
That's right. We want to toss it out to Meredith Helline right now, who is live in the area of Hucks and 701 with the very latest on the situation there. Meredith?
Hey guys, after Marissa was reporting of the road being shut down here, people not being able to get into their homes, we decided to come out here. Thought it was a little more of an active scene than where we were at Adrian Highway and 701. So right now we're on Hucks Road. I'm right here at Tracy Drive. There's some Horry County Sheriff's officers, deputies down here hanging out by the railroad, just keeping an eye on that scene. Other than that, not much going on here. We're going to keep driving around, seeing where this active manhunt is still going on. But for now, there's not much of an update. 2 to 3 suspects are still on the loose. One was caught earlier today, a few hours ago now, after that chase that ended here on Hucks Road where that car was left. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Horry County, I'm Meredith Helline. Back to you guys.
Late breaking. WMBF News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news just into the WMBF newsroom. Horry County Police say this man is in custody in connection with the Food Lion and Carolina Inn robberies that happened 1 week ago.
Authorities say James Bellamy of Tabor City, North Carolina, is charged with 2 counts, possession of a weapon during a commission of a violent crime, 3 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of armed robbery. Within the last 15 minutes, we learned the U.S. Marshals Task Force took Bellamy into custody without incident in Fair Bluff, North Carolina. He'll be extradited back to Horry County to face those charges.
And police also say they found probable cause to charge him in connection with the Fox Bay Road robbery as well. We're told those charges will come once warrants are obtained, and we'll let you know those additional charges and any other updates in this case just as soon as we learn.
But this isn't the first time Bellamy's faced charges like these. Just this last April, Bellamy was charged with armed robbery, attempted armed robbery, and kidnapping, among other charges, after being accused of robbing a Long's Dollar General store at gunpoint.
The incident happened September 28th of 2016. During the crimes, a vehicle was also stolen but later recovered. Again, we're going to keep you updated as this story continues to develop. Now to the other breaking story we've been following for you all day. 4 suspects detained, another still on the run tonight, leading to a manhunt after multiple shootings and a police chase in Horry County. Just about an hour ago, police suspended the search for the final suspect who remains on the loose tonight.
Within the past 30 minutes, we've learned those 4 suspects taken into custody were arrested, and their charges will be released as soon as warrants are served. Be sure to stick with WMBF News as we work to learn who these people are and the charges they'll face.
We are continuing our coverage now with that breaking news tonight. If you watched our shows earlier this evening or you have the WMBF News app, you know we've been bringing you those late breaking updates all evening.
We have multiple crews on scene, both Ian Klein and Marissa Tancino along Highway 701 right now, where the search went on for hours. Marissa Tancino kicks off our team coverage with more on when this all started and what authorities are looking for right now. Marissa.
Meredith, the search was suspended just before 10 o'clock tonight. Horry County Police say that they have searched the area extensively and they don't believe the person that they're looking for is still here. However, they are urging the public to remain vigilant and be on the lookout. Now, police did release a description of the person they're looking for. They describe him as an African-American male who is believed to be wearing a white tank top. And again, he's still on the run tonight. Now, this latest crime wave actually started last night when a car with a mother and her her 7-year-old inside was shot at multiple times in the Conway area. Horry County Police say they were driving through the 1500 block of Hemingway Chapel Road. We're told shots were fired toward that car and it was hit 4 times. Then this afternoon, our reporter Audrey Bisk was actually covering that shooting when she heard shots fired in that same area near Hemingway Chapel Road. Conway police say a preliminary investigation leads them to believe the shots fired today weren't targeting anyone, but were shot into the air or at random. Now, we also learned about a second shooting in the Juniper Bay Road area. Though Horry County police don't believe the incidents are connected, they say a car that matched the description of the one involved in those shootings in the Conway area was spotted, and then the chase was on. That chase ended near Highway 701 and Hucks Road, and 4 people were detained. I spoke with Captain John Harrelson with the Horry County Police Department, who says they're unsure right now if that one suspect on the run is armed, but they did find a firearm that was thrown from the vehicle. Now, multiple agencies assisted in this search tonight, and Horry County Police are still going to look for that suspect that is still on the loose. Now, our team coverage continues with Ian Klein now, and Ian, a lot of manpower went behind this search.
Marissa, that's correct. We've been out here since almost 5 o'clock this evening. Now, we've seen plenty of police agencies out here kind of putting out around that perimeter. We've also seen a ton of them going down Hucks Road, but they weren't just here on the road. We had a lot of agencies in the sky as well. We saw drones, we saw planes as well in this area. Now, the Horry County Police and Horry County Fire Rescue as well as EMS were in this area. We saw the county as well as some canine units. We saw the county sheriff getting involved. The chase ended in this area of Hucks Road near Highway 701. Several individuals, as Marissa said, was detained. Authorities still saying one man is on the loose, and as it got darker, obviously it became much difficult for it to search in this area, but the evening they kept on searching. They had airplanes in the sky around 5 and 6 o'clock. They brought that plane out. We also saw drones, and around 9:30 at night was when we saw a helicopter brought in by sled. Spoke to residents in this area because if you come down 701, it's a fairly residential area. Many of them surprised that something like this could happen right in their own front yard. And obviously, still one of the most important things is safety. As Marissa mentioned, police say that search in this area, it was extensive, and they believe the suspect has left the scene, but you should still remain aware of your surroundings. Make sure your doors are locked tonight. As they said, most likely he is gone from this area. So that's all the information we really know right now. It was quite interesting to see how many police agencies were in this area, and we're going to continue to try and get more information for you. As Meredith said earlier, try to figure out who these guys were as well as what their charges are. Reporting off Highway 701, I'm Ian Klein. Eric and Meredith will send it back to you.
All right, Ian, and right now we want to continue our coverage in the studio tonight. And Meredith, you were actually out there in the middle of it tonight for several hours, all day long, really.
Eric, I was just like Ian and Marissa. I was out there today. I was on the scene giving updates throughout the afternoon, and I did a Facebook Live with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill a little after 5 o'clock. And at that time, the manhunt was still very active. We talked near the Adrian Highway and Highway 701 intersection. He confirmed then only one suspect had been caught. Of course, now 4 have been arrested, with 1 still on the loose.
And they could be anywhere but Hucks Road along Adrian Highway.
Yeah, it could be along the railroad tracks in the bush line. We have a K-9 team out searching for them, along with about 30 officers from the Highway Patrol, Horry County Police, Sheriff's Department, and DNR.
And that was earlier today. After that interview, Chief Hill encouraged everyone who lives near the Adrian Highway area perimeter to be aware, and if you see something, say something. In the last hour, though, Horry County Police have said they believe the single suspect on the loose may no longer be in that area.
Today's incidents just the latest in the string of crimes here in Horry County, which have many of you understandably on edge. We've received, in fact, a number of concerned calls and messages during the past week.
And we want you to know we're committed to bringing you live, local, late-breaking coverage of all of these incidents. We're taking you back now to 1 week ago today when 3 men allegedly shot and killed a man in the Long's Food Lion parking lot before stealing a car and committing several robberies. One of those suspects identified tonight as James Laverne Bellamy. 2 of those robberies, one at the Carolina Inn in the Loris area and another across the North Carolina in Chadburn, caught on camera. You see it here on your screen right now. At the top of the show, we told you this man, James Bellamy, was taken into custody in Fair Bluff, North Carolina, charged in connection with the Food Lion robbery and Carolina Inn robbery. Authorities also say more charges are expected in connection with the robbery that happened that same night on Fox Bay Road.
Well, then Saturday, authorities say 2 bodies were found shot dead in the Conway area. This happened in the 4000 block of Highway 19. Police say they responded to the home searching for the owner of a found vehicle to find the 2 victims shot dead in the driveway. Those victims identified as Robbie and Robert Ford. Those homicides also remain under investigation tonight.
Then another homicide investigation along Adrian Highway, this time after a body was found in the 4600 block around 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday. The Horry County coroner identified that victim as Terry Bly. Police say he was found unresponsive in a camper. We're told a preliminary investigation doesn't indicate this homicide is connected to any other recent incidents.
Last night, a car with a 7-year-old inside was shot at multiple times, also in the Conway area. Horry County police say a woman and her child were driving through the 1500 block of Hemingway Chapel Road. When they approached Raspberry Lane, a car was parked in a driveway facing oncoming traffic. Well, when she slowed the car down because of the position of that SUV, she reportedly saw multiple armed people. Police say another car then approached her, possibly a gray Dodge Charger, shouted at her and then began firing. In fact, hitting her car about 4 times. The victim left that scene, then called police. When investigating, authorities say they found a home they believe was where the woman was shot at. Police say shell casings were found in the roadway in the yard. We're told the home and a car in the yard had also been struck multiple times by gunfire. Witnesses reported as many as 10 masked people in the yard of that home. Police say one witness indicated they observed a person with a white mask armed with what appeared to be a long gun.
Which brings us to today with those 2 shootings in Horry County, one on Hemingway Chapel Road outside Conway and the other in the area of Juniper Bay Road.
Our Audrey Bisk was covering last night's shooting we just told you about near Hemingway Chapel Road when she heard shots fired today. Conway police say their preliminary investigation leads police to believe that the shots fired were not targeting anyone. They believe they were fired from a vehicle driving down Hemingway Chapel Road into the air or at random.
Now keep in mind, these are all of the homicide incidents and shootings we've learned about over the past week. Many of them police say are not related, but this does show an increase, Eric, in violent crimes over the past 7 days. Stick with WMBF News on air and online as we continue to bring you the latest details on all of these incidents.
Well, checking your forecast this evening, the cold front. The much-awaited cold front now beginning to make its way through, sparking off a few showers out towards Interstate 95, some light rain from Florence back to Marion County and Dillon County. We may get some of this rain into Horry County, but not expecting any storms, and the rain won't last long. In fact, future radar getting it out of here by tomorrow morning by 6 to 7 a.m. An isolated shower or 2. That's about it. But drier air filtering in behind this cold front. We've been talking about it all week long. Big changes headed our way for the rest of the week. It's still muggy tonight, temperatures in the 70s and 80s, but the dry air gets in here by tomorrow morning. So notice we're in the lower 70s, 70 in Conway, 69 in Lumberton, and we're going to bring a lot more of these 60s in the mornings here the next few days. I'll break down this cooling trend, let you know how long it sticks around. Let's hit a couple more minutes.
New for you tonight, the Florence County Sheriff's Office says a corrections officer is off the job after he was charged Monday with solicitation of prostitution. Blair McElveen worked at the Florence County Detention Center. We're told he negotiated prices for sex. He's set to appear in court next month on that charge.
This woman, Felicia King, is the second suspect officers say is involved in a human trafficking case involving a 16-year-old girl. The Myrtle Beach Police Department says King was apprehended in Iowa and is awaiting extradition. Officers with the DeWitt Police Department say King was arrested around 4 yesterday afternoon and is being held in a jail in Iowa. Arrest warrants say King, along with the other suspect, Mark Spicer, traveled through 4 states, including through the city of Myrtle Beach, exchanging money for sex acts with the teenager. An affidavit shows King and Spicer posted sex ads online and took the minor to a call at the Walmart on Seaport Street in Myrtle Beach. Officers say the 2 suspects used an Ocean Boulevard motel as their base of operations.
A McCall councilman, 51-year-old Franklin Carlisle, is currently being held at the Marlboro County Detention Center after a traffic stop. Carlisle is charged with driving under suspension for DUI as well as possession of a scheduled controlled substance. Carlisle had a bond hearing earlier today. We will update you on that outcome. It is back to school. Next at 11, we're talking attendance. Horry County school leaders say last year there were a lot of kids not showing up to class. Now they're trying to change that by rewarding students.
Now, WMBF News First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
We're still hanging on to some of that mugginess late tonight. We felt it the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, but the cold front is just off to our west, and behind it, a big shot of dry air the next couple of days. It's going to do a couple of things. It's going to lower the rain chances. They're not a big problem. Also ushering in some cooler temperatures, especially in the morning. Drier air means the temperatures can drop a little faster overnight. Notice tomorrow morning it's 70 inland, 72 along the Grand Strand. As we head through the afternoon, we're getting a break from the 90s, middle 80s area-wide. Rain chances very low tomorrow. Clearing skies. You may see some clouds early on. Sunnier skies filtering in for the afternoon. And no heat index. So this 84 and 86 actually feels like 84 and 86. Last few days, you could tack on another 10 degrees, and that's what it actually felt like. Now, the break's not going to last long. It's really through Friday. Saturday is starting to filter back in that summertime mugginess, and then by Sunday, we're back to where we were, and that will continue through next week. Really not seeing any more drops here over the next 7 to 10 days. So enjoy it for now. Again, you got about 48 hours of this cooler weather in place. And notice through the weekend, middle 80s continue along the Grand Strand. We get those morning time lows right around 70. May sneak some upper 60s all the way into Myrtle Beach by Saturday morning. A big change compared to what we've seen. And by the time you're in Conway, you're likely going to see middle 60s both Friday and Saturday morning. 80s in the afternoon, but notice by Sunday, we're already starting to bump the temperatures up, so that break quickly comes to an end. The humidity filters back in, and we'll get those temperatures back to the middle 80s. They do climb by Sunday to 86, 87, 88 early next week, but the heat index a factor by Sunday, likely feeling like the 90s. That does continue into early next week. Notice the morning time lows. I mentioned you get the mugginess in. They don't drop as much. We're only in the middle 70s by the end of the weekend. Your inland forecast, enjoy your break from the 90s. It's middle to upper 80s Thursday and Friday. As the humidity starts to filter back in, the 60s are gone and the 80s are gone. We are back into the 90s by the second half of the weekend.
So how important is a perfect school attendance record in your home? Well, day one of the 2018-2019 school year is officially in the books here in Horry County.
And this year, the school district is working hard to fix attendance issues that plagued last school year. Patrick Lloyd has the story.
You have to come to school, in order to learn. And so mothers should be aware that kids need to come to school every day.
Rose Deason is a parent. She knows how important showing up to school is. And now the school district will start rewarding kids who consistently show up to school. That's because last year, school leaders say there were a lot of kids who weren't showing up to class.
We have that 14% of our students that have a total of 18 days missed or more.
The attendance incentive program rewards kids with perfect attendance. Deason says she likes the idea, but she does have concerns.
It's a good idea, to reward the kids that come to school every day, but it's also, it's kind of good and kind of because the kids will come even though they're sick. Because they see the other kids are getting reward, they want to get reward.
I asked Wilkes about this concern. He says if a student is sick, schools offer plenty of options to make up the work they miss from being out, which means they could still qualify for the incentives.
They offer Saturday school, and sometimes they do before and after school makeup, so they can come in, and some schools even do it during the lunch break.
The program also means school district employees will work with kids who have attendance issues with the hopes of getting them back in class. Here's what Deason said about that.
I think it's more important to work with the parents, because that's number one. It's come from the parents and it works down to the kids.
Wilkes says the district will also work with parents on that issue.
We have some parents that pretty much lost touch of how to deal with the child, so we kind of work on that, the whole family concept.
Wilkes says he got the idea for this program after finding out other school districts around the nation do similar programs. He says one school district told him graduation rates went up by 10% after the program went into effect. One more thing to keep in mind: if your child gets perfect attendance, that doesn't necessarily mean he or she will definitely get one of those incentives. It means he or she will be eligible for one of those incentives. That's simply because there may not be enough incentives to give to every child who has perfect attendance.
Families in a Murrells Inlet neighborhood started out their mornings a little less hectic than anticipated. Yesterday, we shared with you some of the concerns these parents felt after learning their child would be waiting on the side of Highway 707. Well, late last night, the community manager informed residents the regular bus stops inside the neighborhood we're back. If you remember, this issue all stemmed from a waiver the state wanted the HOA to sign to grant school buses access in the community. That waiver would have transferred liability from the school district to the HOA if damage occurred. Efforts by State Senator Stephen Goldfinch and the HOA board led to Horry County Schools withdrawing the demand for the waiver. The email called attention to the HOA's concern for the county not being responsible for its own negligence.
Today was also the first day back to school for Georgetown County, where student safety has been a major theme, from traffic patterns to safer classrooms. Raycom's Alyssa Holmes has more.